Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News this Friday night. Grant Olson will be along a little bit later with this weekend's weather forecast. I am Jefferson Robbins. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window for a sneak peek. The weather story today has largely been the return of smoke to the north central Washington valleys. This is our view from Crosscam, looking north up the Columbia River on the Wenatchee Valley. Wildfires in California and elsewhere are contributing to that haze that you see there, but thanks to inversion, the worst of it is remaining high above most of the valley floors. Wenatchee, Chelan, and elsewhere are showing moderate rates of air pollution today. That's likely to be the picture through the weekend. The other half of this is the return of summer-like temperatures. We got an early autumn reprieve for most of this week, but forecasts right now are calling for 80-plus temperatures all the way through Sunday. Grant will have the full story in a few minutes. But for right now, a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Wenatchee Valley College decides to keep its winter classes online only for now. There's a bit of good news in the local fight against COVID-19, and a local doctor warns that the coronavirus isn't the only disease threat facing us with the approach of winter. But first, we begin tonight in the Upper Valley, where Chelan County Sheriff's deputies this week arrested the director of a Christian youth camp on suspicion of voyeurism and domestic violence. 45-year-old David Saugen of Plain, director of Tall Timber Ranch near Lake Wenatchee, allegedly recorded video or images of a teen showering in his home on September 20th. He's also accused of shoving and injuring a family member who saw the alleged incident and confronted him. Deputies say he admitted elements of the crimes to his family and was arrested Wednesday afternoon after they contacted police. Saugen has been executive director of Tall Timber Ranch since 2015. The camp is affiliated with the Northwest Coast Presbyterian Church and hosts Bible-based retreats for children and young adults. As of this morning, he remained held in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center on $25,000 bond. Deputies are seeking charges of first-degree voyeurism and fourth-degree domestic assault. Well, Wenatchee Valley College announced Friday that most classes will remain online for the winter quarter, and its campus will continue to be closed to the public due to the pandemic. The college said no decision has been made yet on spring quarter of 2021. Students need to register for winter quarter online by December 21st. The college said they will continue to offer a small number of classes that are hands-on but follow strict COVID-19 guidelines. Well, statewide in Washington, after a 6-week decline, new cases of COVID-19 have plateaued and now are starting to increase. State Medical Officer Dr. Kathy Lofi said this week of all economic sectors, the greatest number of cases persist among those employed in food service and agriculture.
You can see over the past week, we are seeing outbreaks being reported from a very wide variety of settings. During the past week, there were 7 outbreaks in food service or food service establishments or restaurants, 1 in 6 in retail or grocery stores, 4 in childcare settings, 3 in manufacturing, 2 in construction, 2 in places of worship, and I think what I really wanted to point out is that unfortunately we are seeing transmission in many different settings throughout our communities. Somewhere around sort of early July, we saw incredible disparities, incredibly high rates among the Native Hawaiian, other Pacific Islander population, and the Hispanic population. Those rates have come down, and so it does look like some of our health disparities maybe have improved somewhat, but they certainly are still persisting. I think this highlights how relentless this virus is. And anytime we sort of let down our guard and think we can sort of go back to doing things how we did that we did before the pandemic, we often will see increases in disease activity.
Full reports are available on the State Department of Health website. Locally, the Chelan Douglas Health District weekly thermographic shows good news in the valley's fight against COVID-19. The rate of new cases in the 2 counties continues to slow from 162 new cases per 100,000 people in the population last week to just over 114 cases as of Wednesday. That rate is important because until the Wenatchee Valley reaches just 25 cases per 100,000, important sectors of the economy like businesses and schools won't be deemed safe to reopen for public gatherings. The health district still encourages everyone to wear a mask and maintain 6 feet of social distancing when out in public. Well, coming up next, it's safer now than it was a week ago to conduct outdoor burning, but authorities say use every caution to keep fire risks down. And Governor Jay Inslee says it soon might be a good idea to wear that mask inside as well as out. I'm Jefferson Robbins, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
As the sun sets on another hot summer, let the experts at Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa winterize and close your pool. Closing your swimming pool is the most important service to get right. Letting the professionals from Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa close your pool will ensure that you won't cost yourself thousands of dollars in damage next year. Want to save a little money? Consider dropping the water level yourself and save. Don't wait. Blue Lagoon's pool closing schedule is filling up quickly. Call today.
I have fiber at home because it allows me to do a great job in my profession. It allows me to learn things that I need to learn at home. It allows my kids to hopefully one day be able to be educated because of what they learned online and what they learned from their teachers. And it allows us to have fun too as a family. And we're able to do a lot of things because of fiber internet. I'm Rudy, and my family learns with fiber.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Welcome back. Elsewhere in our area tonight, fire restrictions are being lifted throughout the state, but both state and local agencies are warning that people still need to be cautious about sparking a wildfire. In addition to many county burn bans being lifted on Thursday, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife lifted its fire restrictions, as well as its temporary ban on target shooting. Fish and Wildlife is also urging people to be extra cautious in areas burned by this year's wildfires. The agency warns that hazards such as unseen holes where roots have burned up or trees that could fall are possibilities in burned areas. The campfire ban in the national forests was lifted last week. For questions about your burn ban in your local area, contact your local fire district. Well, with more than 100 new cases of COVID-19 discovered among University of Washington students, Governor Jay Inslee says people of the state need to take pandemic precautions when gathering inside during the autumn months and into winter. He had this to say at a Wednesday press conference.
I think we've done a really good job in the sort of communal spaces, in shopping, walking around, of wearing masks and social distancing. And it is because we've done a good job, because Washingtonians have followed the science, because we haven't looked at this as some ideological badge. It's simply a simple tool to keep other people safe and yourself safe. And because we've done those things, we've knocked this virus down. We're at the top 5 or 10 states as far as knocking this virus down. These are really great things. But what we've got to learn, I think, is in our homes, in our neighbors' homes, in our relatives' homes. This is a place where we're going to have to figure out how to enjoy our loved ones and people as we go inside, which frankly means distancing when you're visiting, which means wearing a mask, even in your friend's home, particularly if you can't distance. These are new art forms, if you will, new habits, new ways of socializing that if we do them, we're going to stay on top of this virus. If we don't, we face real danger. So we will be starting a new PR effort to communicate how to socialize inside that can protect you people you're socializing with, because we know it can be done. But we got to give a little thought to that. And I'm hoping people will during this fall.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, a local physician says your flu shot may be more important this year than ever. Your complete local weather forecast and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in north central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Hope, oxygen to your soul, color in your world, a light to your future.
Difficult to qualify and quantify,
Yet you know when it's lacking. So many things have promised us hope.
but have left us feeling hopeless and empty.
Real hope is able to stand firm even on the darkest day of the soul and still say with the prophet Jeremiah,
"For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future."
The Apostle Paul declared to a young church in Rome,
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace,
as you trust in him.
So that you may overflow with hope
By the power of the Holy Spirit.
If our God is a God of hope, then maybe it's your turn to experience a hope that cannot be shaken
or destroyed.
And maybe it's time to hope again.
Maybe it's time to become a generation of hope.
What if the same God that raised Christ Jesus from the dead
And resurrect your hope.
Maybe it's time to hope again.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Dr. Rick Horrigan of Confluence Health says even though it could be a lighter flu season this year because so many people are using face coverings, washing their hands, and practicing social distancing, it is still vital that people get flu shots. Horrigan talked with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz about what to expect in the upcoming flu season.
The Southern Hemisphere, so they've been in winter, they're coming out of it right now, they had a lighter flu season. So taking our clues from there, maybe a little less, and they believe that was due to masking and social distancing. But we can't stress the importance. It's, even though it might be a lighter as far as less numbers getting it, the severity of the flu, especially in the COVID times, the resources that are going to be demanded if we have a bad flu season or the symptoms are so similar, we really think this year probably more than ever is just get that flu shot. This year of COVID, it's really even more important, and there's a couple reasons. One, the symptoms are so similar. Now we're going to say, oh, what do you have? You're going to have to isolate, things like that, because we think maybe it's COVID when maybe it's the flu. Or we're going to have to, you're going to go end up coming into the physician to be seen because you got the flu or symptoms. So anything we can prevent you from coming into physician offices and not being healthy is really good this year. Plus, we don't know what COVID's going to do this winter. We're concerned it's going to start increasing. And actually across our country right now with return to colleges, we're seeing spiking coming back up in a lot of states. We need to keep those critical resources for COVID and thus getting a flu shot. Every year, millions of people get sick with the flu, hundreds of thousands get hospitalized, and thousands die of the flu. Those are resources in this unique year, well, any year, just a matter of fact, but in this unique year, we want to reserve for COVID.
I got my flu shot this morning. I'm ready. But now with his daily look at our weather forecast, here's Grant Olson glowing with health naturally. Grant?
Thank you very much, Jefferson. Time now to take a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. And wow, let's go outside first and take a look at the beautiful day we had. It was a little bit hazy, and that haze will stick around a little bit more. But man, it was just basically on the surface and well up into the atmosphere, but you could still see it along the mountains of the Cascade Range today. But all in all, a beautiful early fall day today. Temperature-wise, once again, we are holding right in that 78, 79 ballpark, unofficially 79 59 today, and that's now 10 degrees above where we should be. 69 is our normal high temperature for this time of year. 41 this morning. It was a little bit cool. I think it was about 51 or so this morning. 46 is our normal overnight low. Record high 83. That was set back in 1988. And boy, if we didn't have this haze, we would probably be threatening that 83-degree temperature today. 37 our record low, and look at that. It was last year. I look back, our high temperature last year, 56 degrees. Today, almost 80. So what a difference a year makes. Sunrise this morning, 7:02, and the sun will set tonight at 6:37. Let's take a look at how we shaped up. Keep in mind, our meteorological year is October 1st to October 1st, so that ended yesterday. And look where we are, 4.3 inches from October 1st, 2019 until this year, and look where we're supposed to be, 8.01. It has been bone dry this entire year. Moses Lake didn't fare a whole lot better, although 6.5 inches there, but it was dry all over north central and eastern Washington this year. Maybe some relief from that as we get into the end of next week. Let's take a look now what we can expect as we get into our weekend and your Saturday temperatures. And I'll tell you what, this forecast for the weekend, it really looks good. Saturday, we are going to see temperatures maybe a little bit warmer than today. We'll see about the haze situation tomorrow, but 82 in Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy, about 81 in Ellensburg and right here in Wenatchee. Lake Wenatchee, about 76 degrees tomorrow. And a beautiful day to head up to Lake Chelan, high temperature there at 81. Surface loop now, it'll tell us a lot. We are seeing a big ridge of high pressure. It's been all the way up into British Columbia throughout this week. So tonight, maybe a little bit more haze. We'll see light winds, so it's not going to scour everything out, but I think a little bit like we saw today. For Saturday, as we get into the weekend, filtered sunshine, although it is going to be beautiful tomorrow with nice warm temperatures. We are going to see highs tomorrow across central and eastern Washington around 80 degrees as we get into the weekend. Sunday, just a little bit cooler, maybe some breezy conditions too, that gold color right here in central Washington. Thinking about a 10 to 15 mile an hour breeze. It will be warm once again with a few clouds in the western part of the state. Highs on Sunday once again around that 80-degree mark, so still well above where we should be. And we're not going to change that much as we get into Monday. High pressure actually will strengthen out in the Pacific, and that's going to drag all that warm air and come right back through Washington State. And it's going to be a beautiful start to our week next week with temperatures once again very consistently into the upper 70s and lower 80s. For Tuesday, sunshine and warm. In fact, clear skies across the entire country. 100 degrees down in Phoenix. Not quite that warm for us, but Tuesday is going to be another nice one with high temperatures in the upper 70s. And then things change a little bit as we get into the mid and end of next week. Sunny, temperatures still above normal. But these are what we're keeping our eye on. A couple areas of low pressure that'll move in towards the end of next week. That's going to usher in some cooler air, especially by Thursday, where our temperatures will get back down into what's pretty much the mid-70s. And then that storm system will kick into gear. And it looks like it's going to aim for us about Friday, maybe Saturday of next weekend. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. Tonight, 57 degrees. Been overshooting these low temperatures the last couple of nights, so we'll see if we get down to 57. 81 tomorrow, maybe a little bit of that haze for Saturday, and then things should clear out nicely by Sunday. But look how consistent those temperatures are. Sunday right through Wednesday, sunny skies with high temperatures mainly in the lower 80s, and then that bit of a cool down on Thursday with partly cloudy skies, high temperature then of 77. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, Eric Granstrom with sports and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Finally Friday to you. Carlos Hyde was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in the second round of the 2014 NFL Draft. He played 4 seasons in the Bay Area and became quite accustomed to their rivalry with Seattle. Now that he plays for the Seahawks, he says he can see why this team is successful.
You know, San Fran, and, you know, especially when we used to play these guys, I used to, like, really, you know, be locked in, because I knew it was a divisional opponent, and I knew how big, you know, a win would be. But it definitely, you know, being, you know, on this team now in Seattle, and it definitely makes sense why these guys are always beating us, though. I mean, just how they go about, you know, everyday practice, just the culture, you know, it makes sense why these guys play at a high level, and it was hard to always beat these guys. But I'm happy I'm here, happy on my other side. Definitely happy, looking forward to playing San Fran again, too.
Now, Hyde could see a few more carries on Sunday in Miami when the Seahawks take on the Miami Dolphins. Chris Carson is questionable after having his knee twisted in a tackle of the fourth quarter of last Sunday's game against Dallas. Quarterback Russell Wilson has been selected the NFC Offensive Player of the Month for September. The ninth-year pro broke an NFL record with 14 touchdown passes through the first 3 games of the season. He says while that's all good and fine, he warns the season has just begun.
We're just in the first month, and we just, you know, there's a lot more ball to play. You know, we have a game this week that we have to go against the Miami defense that's very talented, can do a lot of great things, and so we got to be ready to play. You know, and just you can't take a day off. You know, I always tell my team, you can't take a day off. It's an everyday thing. It's a commitment. It's a, you know, it's a mentality. It's a focus level. It's a lifestyle. You know, lifestyle can't be random. You know, and so you know, in that approach every day, you know, there is no other space for anything else other than greatness, you know, and I think that's just kind of where my mindset's been, you know, this whole offseason, really my whole career, but really in particular this whole offseason, because, you know, you have time to really just process, man, like if I could get to do it one more time, you know, what's going to look like? You know, if I get to do this one more time, what's it going to look like? You know, and so I want to make sure that I make it special.
On the other side of the football, the Seahawks defense has certainly had its challenges so far this season. It ranks dead last in many categories against the pass. Coach Pete Carroll says they'll have their hands full with Miami's Ryan Fitzpatrick on Sunday.
It's really something to watch him play right now. He is on it. This is as good as he's ever looked to me, and he looks like he's playing on house money. You know, he's just going for it. It all phases, all aspects of his play. He's running well. He's challenging the line of scrimmage. We're trying to make first downs. His helmet got knocked off, you know, a bit ago, and he got up laughing and smiling and all fired up. Making great throws. His receivers are doing a fantastic job. Very gutsy, just true veteran savvy working for him. And it looks like, I don't know if this is what it's like on their end, but it looks like everything kind of revolves around his play. And he knows how to manage the game, and it's really a sight to see. You know, not many guys this late in their career can function at such a high level, and so we're going to get challenged by him.
Seattle tried to add more depth on defense this week after suffering more injuries against the Cowboys, including a groin injury to strong safety Jamal Adams. Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. says the injuries drives home the message that everyone up and down the depth chart needs to be prepared to play.
Do a lot of coaching. He spent a lot of time on the Zoom and spent a lot of time with the younger players, and a lot of times the older players, the starters, get most of the reps, and you're always telling the younger players, if you're not in, pay attention. If you're not in, watch. And now you can see why we say that. At least they're seeing it now, and why it's so important. When you're not in, get the mental reps, because you're just one play away for next man up. And you know, you saw the guys step in. It's a testament to their study, a testament to their awareness and their ability to keep up with what's going on, to step in and be as impactful as they were.
Seattle and Miami play at Hard Rock Stadium Sunday with kickoff set for 10 o'clock our time. You can watch the action on Fox. Well, let's get you up to date on the Les Schwab scoreboard. Busy Thursday across Major League Baseball. Ian Anderson and 3 relievers combined on a 2-hit shutout of Cincinnati as the Braves won 5-0 to wrap up their wild card series. Marcell Ozuna and Adam Duvall hit homers in a play add-on in the 8th inning for Atlanta, who now awaits the winner of Chicago and Miami in Game 1 of the NLDS. That'll be next Tuesday. Cubs and Marlins were rained out yesterday. They'll try to make up Game 2 today. on ABC. Chad Pinder's 2-run fifth-inning single proved to be the game winner as Oakland beat Chicago 6-4. White Sox pitchers walked 9 batters, including 2 bases-loaded walks in a 4-run fourth. The A's will face Houston in the ALDS with Game 1 on Monday. San Diego won a wild back-and-forth 7-home-run affair over St. Louis, 11-9 the final to even its National League wildcard series at a game apiece. Trailing 6-2 in the 6th, Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a 3-run home run, followed by a solo shot from Manny Machado. That tied it at 6. Then in the 7th, Will Myers and Tatis Jr. hit back-to-back homers to take a 9-6 lead. The Cardinals came back with 2 runs in the 8th to make it 9-6. Myers homered for the second time in the bottom of the 8th to make it 11-8. St. Louis's Paul Goldschmidt homered in the 9th, but that's as close as the Cardinals could get. Game 3 is on right now on ESPN. Los Angeles advanced to the National League Division Series with a 3-0 win over Milwaukee last night. Clayton Kershaw, dominant over 8 innings, allowed no runs, 3 hits, 13 strikeouts, and 1 walk. LA's scoring came at the 5th on an RBI single by Austin Barnes and a 2-run double by Mookie Betts. Dodgers await the winner of San Diego and St. Louis for the NLDS beginning on Tuesday. Again, here's a recap of what's on tap today. Miami and Chicago meet in Game 2 of their National League wildcard series. Then on ESPN, Game 3 between St. Louis and San Diego. Finally, here's what we have on tap for sports this weekend here on the NCWLIFE channel. Begins tonight with Big 9 football from last October 11th when Eastmont hosts Davis. Tune in at 6:30. I'll be along Grant Olson with the call. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen have play-by-play Saturday at 2 for Casimir and Eastmont girls soccer. That's from last September 12th. Then at 6, it's a rebroadcast of last Saturday's season finale at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval featuring the new Neil Newberry 125 presented by Pepsi. I'm alongside Greg Grants for that one. Then a couple of volleyball matches on Sunday. Wenatchee hosts Sunnyside from last September 17th at 2 o'clock. Then at 7, it's Eastmont and Eisenhower from September 19th. It's all right here on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you on Monday. Jefferson, back to you.
Eric, thank you so much. In other news from us tonight, finally, concerts and theater events might seem like a thing of the past right now, but if you paid to attend an event through the online vendor Brown Paper Tickets, the state attorney general thinks you might deserve a refund. AG Bob Ferguson filed a lawsuit this week to recover about $760,000 for ticket buyers nationwide and $6 million for event organizers. Brown Paper Tickets is accused of defrauding customers who sold tickets through the service and denying refunds to buyers. Ferguson claims the company violated the Consumer Protection Act in the process. Well, now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you, Miss Robbins. I hope everybody has a fantabulous weekend, and I'm inviting you to join me on Monday's edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. For my coworkers, they're going to love Monday because the first Monday of each month is the day that I shower. And so it's going to be a red letter day for me and my coworkers. We'll have your forecast, we'll have your news, we'll have the weekend in sports and everything else you need to start a new work week next Monday at 7 a.m. Live and local for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Jefferson, back to you.
It's actually the first Monday of every other month. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website, ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email, news@ncwlife.com, or give us a call, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.
2021 models are arriving at Sangster Motors. General Motors is on the move with the all-new 2021 Yukon. Yukon is redesigned from the ground up with a bold new look and all the latest technology. Also new is the Canyon AT4 pickup. This off-road equipped mid-size truck will challenge any rival for performance and value. Both of these models will offer Duramax diesel options for maximum power and economy. The American Challenge is game on at Sangster Motors now.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kerry Condata. This is the 12th District TV show, aired 8 times every week on NCWLIFE TV. We cover business and politics like no one else does it because I've been there and done it. 30 years self-employed, 16 years in the House of Representatives, and 12 years running campaigns across the state of Washington. That resume means you're getting information you can't get anywhere else. This is the 12th District. I'm Kerry Condata.